Hello and welcome back to another episode of Flush. I'm your host, Hiwa, and today's part 2 of the cleansing and detoxing episode. So as I mentioned last week, I decided to split this into 2 episodes because it went on for really long, and quite frankly, it was like a very scientific and like serious kind of episode, and I just thought it would be like really fucking boring to have the whole thing in one go, and I just thought it would be like, it would digest better, you'd be able to absorb it better if we split it into 2 episodes. So here we are. It is currently like about 12 hours before we have to leave for the airport for Mexico City. Our apartment's in disarray. We're packing our stuff. We're packing Sam's stuff. We're packing stuff for the flowers. It's just, everything's in upheaval, but my hair is straight. I washed it for the first time in so fucking long. And you guys, I'm so excited for Mexico City. I would say like my only kind of concern is, and this isn't a concern, it's just like something I want to be really mindful of. So I want to stay with like the work momentum that I have right now. And like, I want to keep posting and I want to keep showing up and I want to keep like sharing tips and tricks and things like that. But at the same time, that first week, like Ozzy's not working. Like it's supposed to be our vacation and our time to bond together. And I want to be really, really present with that and have a lot of fun with him too. So just like figuring out how to balance those 2 things is kind of a thing. But other than that, I'm just so fucking excited. Everyone says Mexico City is like the coolest city. I'm just excited to explore, be in a new culture, see new foods. That's what I'm excited to do. I'm excited to go on vacation and see some foods. Maybe I'll eat some sights. I don't know. We'll see. No, I hear like the vintage shopping is amazing, and I'm not even like a vintage shopping kind of girl. It's like one of those things that's like so cool. Like I wish I was cool like that. Like, oh yeah, I just like love to buy vintage. I'm not. You know what I like to do? I like to go on Net-a-Porter, look at things I can't afford, and then go to Revolve and order a bunch of shit. You know what I like to do? I like to buy all of Zara, all of it, everything they have been offering. No, I really am. I don't want to say I'm done with Zara because that's not it at all. I'm not. Like, that's not it at all. But I really do want to go back to being more mindful about how I shop. For a while, I got in this phase where I was like, I'm only going to buy like investment pieces, like no fast fashion, no this, no that, like whatever. And I was like pretty good about it. And then I went into Zara after a few years of doing that. And I was like, wait, they have like really cute shit here. Like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? So I went right back to the opposite direction. And now I want to balance it out a little bit. I talked last week about like having my 3 style words and how helpful that's been. So I do think going to Mexico, I'm not like, I think like in the past when I've gone on vacation, sometimes I buy things just to like buy things or like whatever. Now when I shop, I have a more streamlined approach because I'm like, okay, does it check all 3 of my boxes? Does it, do this? Does it do that? Like I know exactly what's in my closet because it's been so streamlined. Like, do I already have something that's like it? What could I get rid of that's similar to this or whatever? Anyway, so I'm excited for that. I'm really like in the market for like a very specific type of bag. I'm really into a couple of bags on the row. One is obviously the Margot bag that like everyone's obsessed with, but also the India bag I think is really chic. Like I like that kind of top handle bag that's like a little more roomy that I can use as like a day-to-day bag, but is also like a little bit more put together and elevated. So if I find something cute like that, but like vintage or just something really special, that would be lovely. I have some exciting projects for us in the works. By the way, so I'm like recording things a little bit out of order because I'm leaving. So you guys are in for like what might be considered the opposite of a treat next week. So I got a new camera and it's like way better. It solves so many of the issues that we've had, and I get to have like a 2 camera setup now. Like the things are about to like pop off, and like when I get back from Mexico, I have some stuff planned that I tease a little bit more in next week's episode because I've already recorded that, and I'm really fucking excited. But anyway, so next week's episode is the first episode I recorded on this camera, and when we were setting it up, Ozzy kept being like, you sure you want to do this? You sure you don't want to do a test run? Like blah, blah, all the tech is different. And I was like, whatever. Like we won't know until we do it. And like there isn't time. So I'm just going to do it. uploaded to the computer, the audio was so bad, like so bad. Like there are no words for how bad it was. And we're like, okay, well, obviously this isn't usable. And then Ozzy, being like the tech genius wizard angel baby that he is, did something to it. And now it's like usable. It's still not like great. Like, so next week's episode does not have great audio quality. I would still suck it up and listen to it because it's a really good episode. And that actually brings me to something that I want your feedback on. By the way, if you're watching on video, I did wash and straighten my hair, but like, fuck me, my hair is long and the ends are rough. So I didn't even like really do them much. I'm going to go trim them right after this. Anyway, I want your guys' feedback on this. So this episode, the one that, you know, started last week and is continuing this week, and especially in this week's parts, was very research heavy. And I talked about that up front in last week's episode. But you'll see in this week, it's a lot more research heavy. I'm referring to my notes more. There's like a lot of time where like, I don't even really understand the science, but like I'm still talking. And then the episode that comes out next week, the Q&A episode, obviously I still did a bit of research, especially like if you guys ask me a question, like I'm going to do fucking research. You know what I mean? Like I do research. That's never going to change. But here's my question. Do you guys prefer the more scientific, research heavy episodes, or do you prefer the more like yappy, chatty, like maybe less scientific type of episodes? I will honor whatever you guys say. I'll give you my 2 cents on this. Personally, I prefer this. Like, I prefer yapping. Like, I think it's more fun. I think that we connect more. I think it's more entertaining for you guys. It's obviously like a better experience for me too, but like, let's take that out of it, you know? But I think that if I'm being 100% honest, I think my insecurities take over sometimes. And I'm like, no, I have to provide value. I have to provide value. Like, I can't just like talk about my own experience, like, you know, and I'm so aware of how much misinformation is out there. And I never, ever, ever want to contribute to that. So I think that that's what fuels me to like keep making the episodes more and more scientific. And then I feel like they get to a point where it's just like, it's a little too sciencey and it's like not fun anymore. But what do you guys think? So after you listen to this episode, let me know, like, do you like this type of episode, or do you like the type of episode that's coming out next week, which still has research in it, but it's less science-y? Obviously, please ignore the audio issues. Also, the video is like colored weird. Like there's a lot of like, there's a learning curve for this camera. I do think I did a test run this morning at 7 a.m. before I went to solid core, and I was able to get good audio on this. So I'm pretty confident about this time. But anyway, yeah, let me know. Like, let me know what you guys prefer. Again, like the research will never go away. Neither will the tangents. So even if it's like a more sciencey episode, we're still going to like go on tangents and we're going to laugh. And even if it is like a less scientific episode, there's still going to be research, and I'm still going to do my best to present things accurately and not just like regurgitate something I heard on social media. Like, I'm always going to fact check and do all those things. I just like, do you want the episodes where I'm like really referring to my cards and citing a billion studies and things like that? Or do you, which can be really interesting, or do you want the other kind? Just tell me. I love how I've asked the question 6 times now. Like, no one asked me to keep repeating myself, and here I am just continuing to repeat myself. But yeah, let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want. I'm all ears. You know, the show is for you. The show is for you. It's for us. It's for us to like have a fun time together. But you are very much a participant in said fun time. So I need to know what's going to be most fun to you, what's going to be most useful to you, what's going to be most supportive to you. And then there is a change coming up in the show when I get back that like I'm beyond excited for. And I think you guys will die. You'll die. Like, you'll actually prepare your obituary now. Call up your accountant. Like, get your money in a trust, because you will die. What am I saying? Like, literally, what am I talking about? Okay, I am gonna go trim my hair, eat some food, finish packing. And by finish packing, I mean start packing. I've packed my supplements. I've done that. You know what I did, actually? So I'm taking a lot of supplements because I'm kind of taking a lot right now. Now, some of them aren't things that I necessarily take every day or like take the same amount every day or whatever. That might be like a bloat pill, magnesium, selenium, and hangover pills. So those I just have like separate in their own Ziploc bags labeled. But then the pills that I take daily, which are like my B vitamins and a few other things right now. What else do I take? Like, what the fuck? Anyway, like it's like B vitamins, choline, things like that. Oh, I'm taking L-carnitine. It's an amino acid in a supplement, in a like capsule format. And then I have like creatine and glutamine in powder format. It's like too many supplements right now. Like, why am I taking so many? Anyway, the ones that I take daily, I put in like tiny little like pill Ziploc bags for like counted them out. Like, so each day has its own, each morning I just grab another Ziploc bag to take. I just think that'll be easier. Hopefully Mexico isn't like, we're taking all these pills from you. But I mean, I've traveled like that a lot and it's never really been an issue. I think it'll be fine. If anything, I'm more concerned about like the glutamine white powder and things like that, the creatine. But yeah, hopefully none of it will be an issue. Anyway, I guess I'll go. I guess I'll stop yapping. Yeah, get into today's like part 2 of the conversation. So to recap, last week I talked, I basically gave you like a full history of like the Persian Empire from its inception up until today. Not really. I just talked about Persian New Year's a little. I talked about spring cleaning. I talked about my own spring cleaning efforts. I talked kind of a shocking amount about my closet and clothes. Like, I did not see that coming. And then I talked about like what cleansing is, what detoxing is, and I went through our first detox organ, the gut, and then I went on this like very crazy unhinged rant about parasite cleanses and how we should never do them. And I probably alienated like half of the audience, and that's fine. That's fine. The ones of us who are left are the real ones. So today I go through the rest of the detox organs, which are liver, kidney, lymphatic system, lungs, and skin. And I give like a blush cleansing protocol. So like if you wanted to do a cleanse, this is the cleanse that you should do. It's like not too rigid. It's really rooted in science. It's, it won't like hurt you in any way. It's gentle enough to do consistently, and it'll just like really, really help you. And then we talk about the foods that make you blush. And then, we fuck off until next week when you can tune in to awful audio and awful video. And that is the gift that I will be leaving you with. I love you guys so much. I can't wait till I'm back and sitting in the studio again and we can chit chat. Oh, I love you guys. Stay up with me on socials, okay? Like, I'm still going to be active on socials while I'm down there. Okay, love you guys. Oh, and like, please do let me know what you prefer. Okay, love you guys. Get into the episode and we will talk next week. Okay, rant over, don't do parasite cleanses. Let's move right along to our next cleansing organ, or detoxing organ, excuse me, and that is the liver. So this one is actually like a little bit confusing to me. I did a lot of research in it, and I'm gonna like read you my research because like I don't get it. Okay, so the liver actually is the body's primary detoxifier. It filters blood, it metabolizes toxins, it breaks down excess hormones, and it converts fat-soluble toxins into water-soluble forms so that it's ready for elimination. Now, this is the part where I say I find a little bit confusing because it's like so scientific, but basically the liver detoxifies toxins in 2 phases to make them water-soluble so that it's ready for elimination via either bile, which would go in your stool, or via urine. And you may have heard, I feel like I hear about like phase 2 liver detox all the time. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So what we're going to talk about. So phase 1 is activation and phase 2 is conjugation. Haven't heard that word outside of the verb context in like first grade grammar class in a really long time. So phase 1, activation. So in phase 1 activation, the liver uses enzymes, mainly the cytochrome P450 system. The cytochrome P450 system. Oh, my favorite of the enzymes. It's the one I think about the most. To convert toxins into intermediate compounds. This often makes toxins actually more reactive and potentially harmful before they're neutralized. Also in phase 1, it creates free radicals requiring antioxidants like glutathione, vitamin C, and vitamin E to prevent oxidative damage. So to support phase 1 liver detox, which is also the activation phase. Okay, so I get it. So basically you have these toxins, and it seems like in phase 1, it actually activates them and makes them a little bit worse before they get better. So to support phase 1 liver detox, you want to eat a lot of B vitamins and glutathione and flavonoids. You can get flavonoids from berries, green tea, and citrus, and cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower, broccoli, arugula, Brussels sprouts. Now in phase 2 liver detox, which is the one that I feel like I'm like constantly hearing about for some reason, the conjugation phase, what happens there is the liver neutralizes the reactive intermediates by binding them to molecules like glutathione, sulfur, amino acids, and methyl groups. It converts them into water-soluble forms for excretion via the bile and the stool or kidneys for urine. And to support phase 2 liver detox, you want to eat sulfur-rich foods. So that would be garlic and onions. You want to eat a lot of amino acids, specifically glycine and taurine. You want to eat a lot of cruciferous vegetables, magnesium, and B vitamins. Fun stuff. There we have it. Those are the 2 phases of liver detox. Let's move right along to our next detox organ, and that is the kidneys. So the kidneys filter waste from the blood, regulate fluid balance, and regulate electrolyte balance by producing urine. So here's basically how it works. You want to be really fucking hydrated because the water flushes out the metabolic waste, and electrolytes like potassium and magnesium help balance kidney function. Now, those are like the really scientific ways to support your kidneys and their detoxing. The kind of like alternative and traditional wisdom is that cranberry juice, that's like a big one used in alternative medicine for urinary tract health. But if you want to do this, you can't go like buy your ocean spray your cranberry juice. It has to be like a completely unsweetened. And if you've had true cranberry juice, it's like bitter. It is nothing like ocean spray. I actually really recommend just like eating whole cranberries. I have a really good cranberry sauce recipe. It's like a blood orange cranberry sauce. It was in my Thanksgiving recipes if you want to go check that out. Another thing from traditional wisdom is parsley tea and marshmallow root tea. They're diuretics that can really help. Another one that I personally do a lot of is dandelion root, and I like that one a lot because it helps with the gut, it helps with the liver, and it helps with the kidneys. Okay, so after the kidneys, we have lymph. Now, lymph is one of those that I'm sure you've heard about a lot. Like you hear about like lymphatic drainage, you hear about lymphatic drainage massages, yada, yada, yada. So I wanted to get like a little bit more granular on what it even is. The lymphatic system is your body's drainage network, which works alongside the circulatory and the immune system. What it does is it removes waste, toxins, and excess fluid. It transports immune cells, and it helps absorb dietary fats. Unlike blood circulation, which has the heart as a pump, the lymphatic system relies on movement, muscle contractions, and deep breathing to keep fluid flowing. Now, if you're like, okay, what the fuck is lymph and why do I have to drain it all the time? I've had this very thought myself. So here's what it is. Lymph is a clear, protein-rich fluid that does 3 things. It carries white blood cells to fight infections. It removes cellular waste, toxins, and excess fluid from tissues, and it transports dietary fats and fat-soluble vitamins from the intestines. So when we talk about lymphatic drainage, drainage, what we're talking about is the second function, that's cellular waste, toxins, and excess fluids. Like when you have a lot of excess lymph in your body, it makes you look larger than you are. And that's why after a lymphatic drainage massage, like obviously you're going to feel a lot better. And it really, the primary benefit is the detox, is the cleansing, is that it's going to get your immune system working better again. It's going to get your circulation working better again. But the other benefit is the aesthetic benefit, because that excess lymph, when it moves from under your skin to the lymph nodes and then passes through your body and comes out in your urine, you're going to look svelter. You're going to look more snatched. You're going to look more sculpted. And on that note, let's talk about what excess lymph means, because that's another thing that I hear kind of in the wellness space a lot. And I'm like, okay, what's lymph and what is it in excess? So lymphatic congestion or stagnation is when lymph doesn't flow efficiently and it leads to swelling, puffiness, or like just sluggish detox. Lymphedema, I think that's how you pronounce it, is a condition where excess lymph builds up and causes a lot of swelling, especially in the limbs. And inflammatory lymph buildup is when the immune system is overactive, producing excess lymph fluid due to infection, injury, or chronic inflammation. So some signs of lymphatic stagnation are a puffy face, swollen limbs, feeling heavy, feeling sluggish, brain fog, frequent colds and infections, because remember the lymphatic system and immune system are incredibly linked, cellulite, or skin congestion. So to support the lymphatic system, actually the number one thing is walking. I remember I got a lymphatic drainage massage with someone in New York who's like one of the like true experts in lymphatic drainage. And there are so many different modalities of these massages that I don't want to get too into right now, because we have a question about it in the Q&A next week or whatever, end of this month. So I'll get more into it then. But when I was getting this massage, what she said to me was like, actually, you don't really have a lot of excess lymph. And I was like, oh, and she's like, do you walk a lot? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, that's why. And she was like, walking is the single best thing for lymphatic drainage, because like the movement pumps the lymphatic system the way like the heart pumps the circulatory system. But B, we have a bunch of lymph nodes right where like your crotch and your leg connect, like right where like the seam would be on a Barbie. If you really feel in there, you might actually be able to feel them depending on your body composition. They're like these little knobs. Like, do you have any furniture that has those like plastic thingos on the bottom, or like whatever? Like in my, organization era, I've been ordering all these like plastic, like organization bins for like the pantry and stuff. And they have these like little like plastic things on, like these like rubber clear things on the bottom so that they don't move. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't know how to describe them, but like you have them all over your house. I can guarantee like so many things you own have these little like rubberized like legs on the bottom that just helps them not slide. That's kind of what your lymph nodes feel like. It's like this little like green pea sized bulb that's like almost like a dome. It's like a half of a sphere kind of. So anyway, they're right where your crotch meets your legs. So when you walk, you're constantly stimulating those lymph nodes. And that's a big part of why walking is like the most effective thing for lymphatic drainage. But other things that are really good are quote unquote rebounding, which if you're not familiar is just like a small ass trampoline rebranded by the wellness space to call it rebounding. Like, what is it about wellness where they take really common concepts, add a fancy word to it, and then make it 12 times more expensive? Oh, my rebounder. It's a trampoline. It's a trampoline. Okay. I had one when I was 6. It's called a trampoline. Either way, bouncing on it, very good for lymphatic drainage. Hydration, incredibly important. Lymph is 96% water. Again, I would recommend doing the coconut water for the electrolytes. Dry brushing, gua sha massages, those are like very much under the alternative and traditional wisdom. There's no large scale research on these, but there's a lot of history of a lot of cultures doing various things like this. The best foods for lymphatic drainage are dandelion greens, arugula, radishes, beets, asparagus, lemon, cucumber, pineapple, papaya, kiwi, flaxseed, chia seeds, and legumes. And the best herbs for lymphatic drainage are red clover, cleavers, dandelion root, nettle, and echinacea. Actually, fun fact, in 2019, when I was kind of like first starting the stuff, like first starting to like post on Instagram, etc., I'd also like taken a class on herbalism. And by that, I mean, I looked at it like one time and I decided to call myself an herbalist, which is not a regulated title. So like anyone can call themselves an herbalist, but I really did do so much independent research on herbs and I did use them a lot. And I used to go to these people really consistently for lymphatic drainage. And while I was there one time, we started talking about teas and I actually private labeled a lymphatic drainage tea for them. So I came up with a formula. I like packaged them. It was like so cool. It was the first time I made money from like doing something for myself like this, and it felt so cool. Like I literally never made money outside of like being hired by a company before, and I was like, yes, my work is taking off. I'm going to be a successful influencer one day. And I used all those herbs in the blend along with like a few other ones that were more like depuffing and stuff, but like it was a very like aesthetics driven lymphatic drainage brand. Okay, let's move on to our last two detoxing organs, and that is the lungs and the skin. We'll do lungs first. So basically what lungs do is they filter the air, they expel CO2, and they remove volatile toxins. To support it, like in the very scientifically based practices are deep breathing, like diaphragmatic breathing. So what you want to do for that is like, you want to inhale and watch your belly rise, not your chest. That's what really activates the diaphragmatic element of it, and that increases oxygenation. Air purifiers and like other forms of reducing indoor pollutants to improve air quality also really, really help. In the alternative and traditional space, we have pranayama, which is yogic breathing techniques. Like there are a lot of different ones of them, so I can't really do a demo. There's like a bunch with like holding nostrils and things like that. And then there's like some, anecdotal stuff on salt therapy. It's also called halotherapy. It's an ancient practice that's like been used in the world, but there's like really no studies on it at all and whether it actually helps, but probably wouldn't hurt. We can say that. Now for skin, what the skin does is it eliminates heavy metals and toxins through the sweat. So the best science-based ways to support it are exercise and sauna, because they're like just the best ways to get you sweating. Now my sauna protocol right now is a little bit different than it used to be. So I have the higher dose sauna blanket, which I 10 out of 10 recommend. Like when I look at cost per use, it is actually the cheapest item out there because I think it's like $600, maybe $700 right now. I use it pretty much every single day. So over the course of 2 years, it's less than $1 per use. I've had that sauna blanket. Well, okay, I had one since 2019 that last year Ozzy replaced for me for my birthday. So basically 5 years of use out of that one. And he replaced it because it had like worn down, like the wires were shown. And I actually don't think that's a fault of the blanket. I literally used it pretty much every single day, some days for more than an hour for years. And when I first started using it, I put it on the couch and it kind of like melted into itself in a fucked up way. The second one I've been treating a lot better, so I think it'll hopefully last me longer, but I do use it a lot. That's why it gets worn down. But like at that point, we're talking like 13 cents per use. Pretty fucking good. So I have the higher dose sauna blanket. I have the towel liner for the insert. I really recommend having this. It just makes cleanup so much better and so much easier. And then I just bought this sweat band that you wrap around your tummy. I've used it twice now. holy shit, does that make you sweat like 20 times more. Now, my favorite thing to do is to kind of like stack it with also doing red light. So I'll put the red light device on, and I just got this like red light activator serum from Higher Dose. I don't know if it's like really effective or not. I've used it 2 times, but I put the serum on, I put the red light over, and then I do like an NRP or some other kind of like hypnosis or meditation while the red light is on. So I do that for the first like 20 to 30 minutes that I'm in the sauna blanket. And then I pull the red light off, and, like I finish my hypnosis or meditation, I pull my arms out just so that I like don't get bored, and I'll like do things on my phone or my computer and just get work done the rest of the time that I'm in the sauna. The other thing that I do in the sauna is before I get in, I take a bit of glutathione and chlorella to like bind with toxins and just deepen the detox. Sometimes I'll like rub castor oil on. We talked about castor oil last week, so I'm not going to repeat that whole spiel. I have a roll on, so sometimes I'm like, meh, I may as well do it, but overall I'm kind of off the castor oil thing. And then when I get out, I drink my coconut water. So that's kind of like how I do that deep sweating detox. Now, as far as alternative and traditional wisdom, infrared saunas are really trendy right now. That's actually what I have. The Higher Dose sauna blanket is an infrared, but it's not actually really studied for long-term detox effects. Like there isn't like a ton of true evidence that infrared is better than just like a heat-based sauna. And then there's some stuff on like clay masks and Epsom salt baths. They're widely used, but there just like isn't extensive research on them. I will say, I remember like a few years ago, like back when I first started using Instagram, but not actually posting. So it would have been like 2016, 2017. There was like this rise in people like detoxing their armpits when they switched to like a more natural deodorant. So like, I guess like first you have to like detox the armpits, and people would do these like bentonite clay masks in their armpits. Girl, I don't know. But I do think there's like pretty strong evidence that you really should not be using antiperspirant, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, antiperspirant. Why does it sound weird the way that I'm saying it? Either way, you're supposed to sweat. Antiperspirant stops you from sweating. You're meant to sweat. Sweating is good for you. The more you sweat, the better, actually, because it's just deeper and deeper detox. And there are a lot of people in the alternative medicine and functional health space that say that if you don't sweat a lot, that's actually really bad. It's a sign that that detox pathway is blocked for you, and you should sauna more and more and more to open up that detox pathway. Is that true? I don't know. I don't think it's like proven at all, but it is a thing that's out there. Okay. Now that we've gone through all the detox organs, I kind of wanted to create like a blush cleanse, right? There are all these cleanses out there, juice cleanses, this cleanse, like whatever stupid fucking cleanses are out there. Let's do a blush cleanse that is largely like truly scientifically proven, with some like ancient wisdom thrown in there, with some alternative remedies thrown in there that like, even if they're not fully scientifically proven, we can say like they're probably not going to hurt you. So step 1 is your morning hydration. So you want to start with an overnight nettle infusion, which at the very end of the cycle, you'll see that we make this in the evening. You want to do lemon water. You want to do coconut water. Better yet, I would recommend doing my cleansing water recipe and my beauty water recipe. Those two will give you all the hydration that you need. It promotes lymph flow, it stimulates bile production, and it draws water into the colon for elimination. Now you want to have enough hydration in the morning that you'll be full for at least an hour. That's kind of like a good rule of thumb. Step 2 in the blush cleanse is your morning liver support. So you want to wait at least 30 minutes from having all your like hydrating things, And then take milk thistle and glutathione. You want a liposomal glutathione. Milk thistle is a herb that helps protect and regenerate the liver cells by enhancing glutathione production. So it creates an environment in which glutathione can be more effective. Glutathione is what's called the master antioxidant. It directly supports the liver detoxification process by neutralizing free radicals and helping flush out toxins. You want to wait at least 30 minutes before eating or taking any meds after taking the glutathione. Okay, so step 3 is breathing. Every single day, you want to spend between 5 to 20 minutes, whatever is accessible to you and won't overwhelm you, doing some deep diaphragmatic breathing. So what you want to do for that is you want to lay down, put your hands on your belly and watch your belly rise and fall. If you want to stack this, you can do this in the sauna blanket. That's what I personally do. If not, you can do it wherever. Now, step 4 is you want to do some movement and you want to sweat every single day. You want to walk at least 7,000 to 10,000 steps every single day. You want to do some kind of sweaty exercise. If your exercise is not so sweaty, then you want to get in the sauna, you want to get in the steam room, or you want to get in a very hot bath, whatever is available to you and accessible to you. The next step after that, step 5, is you want to shower. Now, in the shower, here's what we're going to do. We're going to tap on our lymph nodes. So we're going to start with along the nose, along the ears, and I'm demoing this in the video, behind the ears, like kind of right where your jaw and your ears and your neck all meet, like on the neck, along the collarbone, and the armpits. You want to massage all these spots. Oh, sorry, I'm not done. You want to also do that like where the crotch meets the legs. You want to tap or very, very lightly, like not a deep massage. All you need is a very light tap for the lymphatic drainage. And then I recommend gua shaing both your face and your body in the shower, and you want to move from the top of the head down, but everything moves in an upward motion. So I have a body gua sha, I'll link it, and it has like these like spiky sides. I do that along my scalp, and then I do my face gua sha. So first I do the forehead, then I do the cheekbones, then I do the mid face, then I do the jawline, and then I drag everything down from these, like, so you're kind of moving in an upward and outward motion to like move all the lymph to the lymph nodes on the side, and then you drain all the lymph down to the next lymph node. So you drain down the neck, and then you drain out on the collarbone, out on the chest towards the armpits, and just down, down, down. But like with each organ, for example, the arms, you go up the arms to the armpit lymph node. The legs, you go up the legs, but you do the legs last because they're lower. So does that make sense? You go top to bottom, but in an upward motion. That is step 5 of the blush detox. And then step 6 is the things that you're going to do before bed. So you want to take a dandelion root tincture. You want to... What the fuck is triple bag? Oh. It's a typo. Okay, so you want to take a good magnesium. I really recommend the JS Health triple form magnesium or something. It has a magnesium glycinate, it has a magnesium citrate, and it has some kind of like amino acid magnesium chelate in there. So I recommend taking that. I recommend reflect on your day, look at all the mistakes that you made that day, repent for them and release them and be done with them, and then spend a few minutes planning your next day. You might want to time block your next day. You might want to plan your outfit for the next day. You might want to set intentions for the next day, whatever it is that can help you just be in a good mindset for the next day. And the last thing that you want to do before bed is you want to make your nettle infusion for the following morning. So I recommend taking a gallon-sized glass jar, filling it about 1/4 quarter of the way with dried nettle leaves. Pour boiling water over top to fill the jar. And then in the morning, you just let that sit all night long. And then in the morning, you strain out the nettles, you strain out the liquid, and that is what you drink the next morning when we start the whole process again. Now, this is a very gentle cleanse. There's no like starving yourself. There's no taking 450 supplements. There's no fake worms in your poo. There's none of that, but it's very scientifically based, and it handles and it supports all of the detox organs in your body, and it just goes in a systematic way. So if you follow this process, you should be pooping well, and you should be eliminating through all of your detox organs in a functional and efficient manner. So that brings us to the end of the episode, where we do a foods that make you blush segment, where I talk about foods that have nutrients that support what we talked about this week. So I found the 5 best cleansing foods out there. And for each of these foods, I'm going to tell you which detox pathways and which detox organs it supports and why. So number 1 is beets. So it supports the liver detox, the gut detox, and the skin detox pathways, and it supports the liver. The detox organs that it supports obviously are the liver, colon, and skin. Now the betaines and antioxidants in beets support phase 2 liver detox because they help the liver process and neutralize toxins. They also promote bile production, which helps flush out toxins stored in the liver. They're high in fiber, which helps gut detox. And the betaines in beets, I don't know if I pronounced that word correctly, really help the skin eliminate toxins also through the sweat. Cucumbers are a second food. So it supports the kidneys and the lymphatic system. And the high water content basically supports kidneys, help flush toxins and water through the urine, and it also helps move lymph, because keep in mind, lymph is 96% water. Our third food that makes you blush for this week. Oh my God, I'm like losing my mind. I feel like I've been recording like since the beginning of time. I feel like I've been talking for so fucking long. I actually don't know how all this is going to fit in one episode. I suspect that I might have to break this into 2 episodes, because like truly I feel like I've been talking for so long. Like what are words anymore? Anyway, garlic supports, and the camera just died. Okay, let's give it a hot second. I'm going to turn it off and see if I can get the video going again. Woo, okay, we are back. I had to turn the camera off, let it sit for a while, let it cool down, change the battery. I mean, I love when like I podcast so long that my tech is literally like, nah, we're tired. Like my brain was already saying it, like my mouth is literally dry, like I'm starting to get pretty loopy, and I feel like I was speaking so fast too. Like this episode could have been like 5 times longer if I was speaking slower, but I was just like pummeling through it. Anyway, so now that we're back on, let's go back to our foods that make you blush. So the third one is garlic. Now, garlic supports the liver, the gut, and the immune system. It is truly one of the healthiest foods that you can eat, but it's also so good for the cleansing and the detox. So basically, garlic has a lot of prebiotic fiber, which supports the beneficial bacteria in your gut, which you might recall helps neutralize a lot of the toxins that go into your gut. It also has a compound called allicin, but it's ALLICIN. And that allicin activates liver enzymes that help neutralize toxins and help in the phase 1 liver detox. And then it also has like a lot of like immune supporting benefits, although the immune system isn't part of the detox pathway. So I don't really know why that's here, but nevertheless, it's always good for, whatever. Plus it's actually really good for your skin too. Like it can really make you glow from the inside out. Speaking of glowing from the inside out, radishes are our 4th food that can make you blush, and it supports the liver, colon, and skin. So radishes have a compound in them called glucosinolate. Glucosinolate helps support phase 2 liver detox. It's also really rich in fiber, which helps with the gut detox. And lastly, the anti-inflammatory properties in radishes help with toxins being eliminated through the skin. The last food that makes you blush for this week, and this is, I mean, to get it down to 5 for this episode really was it was like a game of Tetris. Like I had to make it fit because I wanted to find the 5 foods that would cover the various detox pathways the best. And so that's why I came up with these 5. So the last one is chia seeds. Chia seeds support colon, liver, and skin. So the soluble fiber in chia seeds bind with toxins. The insoluble fiber helps increase the transit time so that basically you eliminate the toxins through the detox pathway that is gut detoxification. The omega-3s in chia seeds help with the liver detox, and the antioxidants in chia seeds help with skin detox. And that brings us to the end of the episode where I feel like I started talking like truly like back when like Homo sapiens were first like evolving out of monkeys, and we're finishing in a land where I don't even know what's happening anymore because I've talked so long that I'm actively dizzy and like low-key kind of blind from lights staring at me. But I believe if I remember correctly, like what life even was before I started recording today, if I recall correctly, I think we do a segment on the show called Gratitude at the end, where I list 3 things that I'm grateful for. And the reason that I do this is because having a regular gratitude practice is scientifically proven to make you a happier and more optimistic person. So really, I do this as an invitation while you're listening to me list 3 things that I'm grateful for. You can list 3 things that you're grateful for. But the key is you don't want to just list like the most top of mind, obvious things that come to mind for you. You want to really scan through your day or scan through your week and find 3 new things to be grateful for. So this week, I am grateful. You know what? I'm grateful that I fucking finally recorded this episode. Like Sam wasn't in the hospital. Ozzy wasn't in the hospital. I wasn't in the hospital. I didn't have some kind of crazy fever. The apartment didn't go burning. Like none of the crises that have been happening. Literally when I was in bed last night, I was like, oh God, like this episode is such a bad omen. Like I just hope like Sam doesn't die tomorrow. Like that's where it's at. Like every time I've meant to record this episode, some kind of crisis happened. So yeah, I'm grateful that I fucking finally recorded the spring cleaning episode a month and a half later. I am grateful. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I'm recording this. I suspect that I'm going to have to split this episode into 2 weeks. So I would imagine that you guys are going to know the information that I'm going to provide next. You probably already know it, but I suspect that I'm going to split this into 2 weeks. So basically, I'm going to have the first part of this conversation air this coming Tuesday, which would be like the 3rd Tuesday in April, and part 2 of it come out the 4th Tuesday in April, which is actually not the last Tuesday in April because April has 5 Tuesdays just because of the way the dates worked. So you probably already know this, but we're leaving for Mexico City the day this episode drops, or part 1 of this episode drops. So basically that brings me to, I'm grateful for this Mexico City trip. You know, like a lot of my well-traveled friends say that Mexico City is their favorite place they've ever been to. Like people say it's amazing. I'm so fucking excited to go. It's a bit of a bummer that it's like kind of frigid. Like it's not like a beach town. It's in the mountains and it's cold. So that kind of sucks, but like, so it's not going to be like warm Mexico beach vacation, but I hear it's like the coolest fucking city. And we're going for 2 weeks. Ozzy's working the 2nd week. So I'm basically going to like fly solo. I'm going to try to film a lot of content, like be really active on the socials. The first week I will still be working a little bit, but because I'll have to like, you know, spend time with my boyfriend who I'm technically going on vacation with, I can't just like work all day, but I am still going to like put up content And then like mostly just try to like be present with him and enjoy the time. But the second week I'll be working a lot more. And like whenever I've like been with Ozzy when he has these work trips and he's working, like they work literally all day. Like I don't see him at all. So it's like for me, it's like a time to get content, like do things, but I also do a lot of internal work and like strategizing. So I always come back like so refreshed and ready to pump out like sick content when I'm back. So yeah, overall, I'm really excited to go. I'm really grateful for the trip, and I'm grateful to have the type of job where I can go. You know, one of Ozzy's coworkers, his fiance, who I fucking love, she's like amazing. She gets so few vacation days from her job that I actually think it's criminal. Like I actually think it might be illegal. Like I think she should look into it. But basically she can't go on any of these trips with him. And again, it's not like it would be like fun, meaningful vacation time together because like they're not. Oh, I didn't have the camera plugged in. Oh my God, that's so funny. Like it's plugged in on the camera side, but the outlet isn't plugged into the wall. Okay. All right. Well, we're learning new things. Anyway, so that's so funny. Okay. So yeah, I'm grateful that I have like a work and life situation where that's even an option for me. And then lastly, oh my God, you guys, there is some sick stuff coming to the show. Like I had this idea the other day that I'm working really fucking hard to implement that's going to upgrade this show to a stratosphere that's never been seen before. Like I don't want to be dramatic about this, but I have an idea that I've literally never seen executed before in the world, and it's going to be fire, and you guys are gonna know what it is really fucking soon. And I'm so pumped. You know what, because that's kind of an annoying teaser, I'm really grateful for this brand. It's like I don't know, like Swedish or Norwegian or some kind of shit like that kind of brand. But they make the cutest pieces like this. I love this type of like, you know, talking about like personal style from the top of the episode. Like I find this type of like ruching on the neckline to be so chic. I got a couple of dresses from them that are kind of like blazer dress vibes, but like with very interesting dimensions. Like it looks like a piece of art, like truly wearable art. I'm really grateful I found this brand. Their prices are like relatively reasonable, although I will say the last order I got from them, I had to pay some tariffs on. I'm not going to say what the tariffs. I'm not going to say how much I paid in tariffs, but I'm truly ashamed at how much I had to pay in tariffs. The way I justified it in my head is like these pieces are so luxe that I feel like they're actually like, if for an American brand, I would have paid like that price point anyway, plus the tariffs. So like that's how I'm reconciling it in my head. Nevertheless, I'm really grateful that I found this brand. It's called Arakii, Arakii. The pieces are absolutely stunning. If you're curious, I can send you all the pieces I own by them. Basically, I own this ruche top. I own like the short sleeve version of it. I have the short sleeve version in gray and a dress. And then I own this like mesh skirt in this color that's like completely sheer with these like matching knickers. They're so fucking cute. You're going to catch me in that outfit in Mexico City. And then the two like blazer dress things. But like, yeah, if you're curious, I can send you all the stuff. I had gotten two pieces from them before and like saw that I loved the fit and the fabric and everything. And then I ordered the rest of the stuff and I got like fucked by the tariffs. And you're not going to catch me doing a political rant here today. Not today, Satan. You know what? While I'm at it, I also am obsessed with a brand that makes these earrings. They're Heaven Mayhem. They make like the chicest earrings that are like so elegant and vibey. And they're all like 100 each. So it's not even like a huge thing. Anyway, this week and every week from now until the end of time, I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for trusting me with your wellness journey. And thank you for like turning to me for entertainment. I love you guys so much. Okay, we will talk next week. And until next week, don't forget to stay fucking cunty out there, babes. Love you guys.